Liberty on display. Unfortunately, Lady Liberty was not complete in time for the 100th birthday of the United States. Only her head, arm, and torch were finished by then. These parts were put on display to give people an exciting hint of what was to come. 40 people can fit into the statue's head. Workers rushed to finish the statue's hand. This diorama shows how workers may have smoothed out the bumps in Lady Liberty's face. Lady Liberty in 2 places at once. The arm and torch traveled from France to the United States in 1876. They were displayed in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and New York City. People were amazed at the sight of such a huge sculpture. The arm and torch alone were 30 feet high. That's about as tall as 5 grown men standing on top of one on top of the other. Visitors could climb a ladder up to the statue's arm and stand on a balcony outside her torch. You can see a person standing there. For the first time, Americans began to feel really excited about the statue. There was still not enough money to finish it, however. People struggled to raise enough money to keep the project going. They even sold small copies of the Statue of Liberty. These proved to be popular. By the end of 1879, it finally looked as if there might be enough cash to complete the work. In 1876, the statue's shiny head was put on display in Paris. Crowds loved it. The statue's nose is 4.5 feet long. Finally finished. In June 1884, the Statue of Liberty was finished at last. Bartholdi was anxious to see it standing in New York Harbor. However, there was one major roadblock. The pedestal was far from completed. The Americans had run out of money. Joseph Pulitzer ran a fundraising ad in his newspaper in 1885. A paper saves the day. Finally, newspaper owner Joseph Pulitzer decided to help. In his paper, The New York World, he urged readers to give as much money as they could. Pulitzer stressed that Lady Liberty was a gift to all Americans. He promised to print the names of those who donated. People throughout the country began to send money. Even children helped. Some gave their birthday money. School classes collected cash. By the summer of 1885, there was enough money. There's Joseph Pulitzer. Some children raised money for the pedestal by delivering newspapers. Meanwhile, workers in France were busy as well. They took the statue apart to send it to America. The parts were packed into 214 wooden crates. Some crates weighed as much as 2 cars. On June 17, 1885, the French ship carrying the crates sailed into New York Harbor. Cheering crowds welcomed the statue to America. It took more than a year to finish the pedestal and rebuild the statue. On October 28, 1886, the Statue of Liberty officially opened to the public in New York City. More than 20,000 people marched in a parade that day in her honor. More than 1 million onlookers cheered the marchers. In a speech, President Grover Cleveland said, "We will not forget that Liberty has made here her home." French people missed the statue, so they built a smaller one in Paris. And there's the Eiffel Tower.